Well, hello there, traders. Welcome to this week's live trading and backtesting. I am your host, Christopher Yule. If you would do me a favor, like we do every week, I want to know two things so we can warm up the chat box, get ready to go. Tell me the number one stock that you made the most money on this week. That stock where you're like bragging to your friends, telling everybody that you know, texting everybody saying, guess how much money I made this week. And then I want to know the other one. I want to know the stock that took your lunch money. I want to know the one where you're like, I'm not telling anybody I traded this one. The reason being is because we can backtest both of those. We can see what winners are working and we can see what losers aren't working, and we can have that conversation. I am here for you today on today's live trading and backtesting.
This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Yule.
Yes, your host, Christopher Yule. I am back. I do want to apologize ahead of time. Whatever's going on out there seems to have crawled through the interwebs from Mitch over to me. So I got my cup of green tea all ready to go. Yeah, I'm a little bit under the weather, but not under enough to not take care of you. That's why we're here today. So let's first get into what's going on out there in the market. This is me giving you my perspective on what I am seeing out there. So when I go to trade, I have a top-down approach. In fact, I have a PowerPoint on my top-down approach. The number one thing that I start with is the market. Is the market bullish or bearish? Well, here's how to know. When you are going into your trading platform, how can you know if the market is bullish or bearish? I have three components of this. The number one thing that we're going to talk about here is the S&P 500 moving averages. Is the 10-day moving average over the 20-day? And is price over the 50-day? Let's take a look at that. So for me on my screen, the blue line is the 10-day, the black line is the 20-day, and the red line is the 50-day. So what we want to see is the price over the red line, and then the blue line continuing to be over the black line, which it is. A couple of days ago during the day, actually wasn't. It was a bear market here not too long ago, but it had corrected by the end of the day. And then the second component that I look at is the MMFI. So we've established that the market has a bullish trend, but does it have bullish breadth? Does it have enough participants coming to the table? And here is where I say no. The MMFI is the percent of stocks above their own 50-day moving average. An incredible indicator to give you a behind the scenes peek of what's really going on out there. If you take a consolidated look at the MMFI when it crossed below 50% and the S&P 500, you will see the correlation between this frustrating, choppy trading range and the lack of participation in the breadth of the market. So because of that, I'm not going to go long today. I know the market's closed, but I need to have not only the bullish trend, but also the bullish breadth. And then the final piece of this jigsaw puzzle here, the one that you put together with your grandma at Thanksgiving, but this one only has three pieces, is FinClub. So FinClub is an artificial intelligence platform that I fully believe in, and I need to see it have a green light on the day. And today it did. But for me personally, these are my three criteria that I tell everybody inside of our 10-minute trading room. It's the market has to come first. Market first, always top priority, period. And the three components of the market are the moving averages, the breadth, and then the artificial intelligence data. So with that being said, I have 0 positions on. I actually have more about that later on in today's episode here on Benzinga. But it's all about waiting. If you haven't noticed, trading successfully is mostly a waiting game. But I'm not waiting anymore. Let's take a look at what you have been putting in the chat. We've got Lucid. We've got DraftKings. We've got Thoughts by Nature. The thought was, what's up? We've got Mine Is. We've got Facebook for his winner. And we've got Timus. Oh, I traded Timus. The last time I remember trading it, I had a similar situation. It was really good for me. And then it took my lunch money right after that. Philip, I remember. I know what you're talking about here, man. Tiny Pie Media. I hope you and Money Mitch feel better. F that Rona. Yeah, I'm not going to get political, which is really sad. The fact that an illness has become political, but whatever. El Trey. El Tris. This. El Trey this. Either way, I would love to get into that. But before I do, if you enjoy this, go over to your YouTube search bar and type in 10-minute stock trader. Come hang with us over there. We have the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, has over 600 episodes at this point. We have over 10,000 friends just like you who come and watch us give the tools, tips, and tricks every single week to help you trade faster and trade smarter. So there's my pitch for the day. All right, let's get back into Lucid. All right, Lucid. LCID. Or no, it is. Okay. I thought it was saying Lending Club. Oh, looks like I may have traded this. I don't know. Let's remove all annotations here. I'm going to clean up my chart to just have one line on it. Now, I like to preface this by saying that when you see a YouTube ad where it's somebody who says, just follow this one simple line, they are full of baloney. But we will be following one simple line in these back tests. The reason being is that we're trying to simplify the process as much as possible. Remember, any day of the week, you can click the buy button. Any day of the week, you can click the sell button. But we are trying to examine when is an opportune time to buy, when is an opportune time to sell. At the end of the day, once you grasp this concept of trading, it becomes literally a game just like playing Mario. And when you know the rules of the game, it gets way easier than trying to figure it out on your own. So let's take a look at this. And this one simple line here is the 10-day exponential moving average. Now, we're not going to add any RSIs. We're not going to add any Bollinger Bands. We're not going to add anything else. We're just following the price going above as an entry point or the price going below as an exit point. This would be what is referred to as trend following. And in my opinion, the easiest way to trade. So we're going to backtest this by going to Strategy Tester. And in fact, let's make this full screen so you can see along as I do it. We're going to add a parameter, that being the condition of price being at the close, so one time a day, greater than indicator 10-day exponential moving average. Okay, so price greater than the 10-day. That's our entry criteria. Now, our exit criteria would be the opposite. Condition, price, close, less than indicator 10-day. So, in a nutshell, when price goes over the blue line, we would enter. When price closes below the blue line, we would exit. So if we hit run, we will see the entry. This is so cool. So this tool that I'm using right here is called TrendSpider, trendspider.com. You can use the code 10minute. That's 10minute. It'll give you the biggest bonus. I should say the biggest discount they have available at all, publicly available. I'm one of their partners over there, and it's because of this incredible tool that I have zero issue with being a proponent for it. But here, let's talk about what it tells us, right? It'll show us here on the chart where our entry points and exit points would be. And it'll even show the profit and the loss for each one. If I'm reading this correctly, if you entered here, follow along here, when it crossed over the blue line and exited here when it crossed below the blue line, I don't know if you can read that. Let me make it bigger. Maybe it'll help. That says it's an 89% gain on this one move. This one move, crossing above, letting it run, gave you an 89% move. That, my friends, is the power of trend following. So, this strategy would have given you a 592% return cumulatively over the last year. I do like to extend that a little bit to the last 1,000 candles. That's the last 4 years. Let's click run. Still 592%. It's probably less than 4 years old. That's why. 592%. Isn't that outstanding? A Lind 101. This is an epic backtest right there. Very good. Let's go to DKNG. DKNG. If I'm not mistaken, that is DraftKings. Now, this one has been in a sell-off recently. But what I want to show you here is if you follow this strategy, this is simple. Anybody can do this. Anybody has access to a moving average, okay? You avoid all of these kind of ugly moves, and you only take things that start to pop up over, okay? Now, this strategy yielded a 296% gain cumulatively over the last 1,000 candles. That's outstanding. And if you look here, this is my favorite thing about this chart. When it is a valid backtest, it will actually project here out on the screen what the data has shown that this stock has done. Past performance is not indicative of future results, but you can see an expectation of what these numbers mean out on the chart in real life. And boy, does it make things simple. Alind 101, I am so grateful that you pulled those in. Those were two fantastic stocks. Let's go to the next one. MYNZ. Hey, if you're enjoying this, if you like this kind of content, there's a little button down there that's got a thumbs up. It's right beside the one that you don't mean to click, but it's the thumbs up one. I want you to take your thumb and I want you to go smash, Hulk smash that as hard as you can. It lets Benzinga know that you're enjoying this content. And I enjoy being able to share this with you. Okay. So Maine's Biomed. Okay. So this one, I'm trying to pull it over. And this tells me that this is a relatively new issue. I do like to stay away from IPOs for a while, probably 6 months at least, to let them tell me where the trend is going to go. Because while we do have some data for a 10-day exponential moving average, it's not much, right? Our sample set here is only 4 times has it crossed above and below. But the backtest does show in those 4 times a very strong backtest. But statistically, this just doesn't have enough data, unfortunately. Philip, how are you, sir? Let's take a look at Facebook. Or I'm sorry, let's take a look at this thing that used to be called Facebook. The stock formerly known as what the? Nobody believes me when I tell them that a backtest on Facebook is awful. Can you see that? Let me make it bigger. Philip, I know that Facebook is one of those stocks where everybody's like, hey, just buy Facebook. It always goes up. But if you followed this strategy, you would have lost 31%. That's not insignificant. Now, the asset, the actual stock has gone up 78% in the last 1,000 candles, but we have no control over that. That's what this number is here. But this performance chart says, hey, listen, if you're going to trade Facebook, using the 10-day as an entry and exit signal is not right. Something else may be fantastic. Maybe it's the 20-day, maybe it's the 50-day. But using the 10-day, which is a really strong indicator of a strong trend, is not the signal for this stock. I love sharing these. These are exactly the reasons why we oh, Mitch just texted me. Okay, we're good. These are the reasons why I do backtesting. Because you would think that Facebook would just be a monster winner no matter what. Sorry, you backtest this, it's just not there. In fact, just casual glancing, it's been sideways since October. Philip, thank you. Timus. Now, this is when I talked about how I remember I was trading it last summer. Before going on vacation, I was trading this. And it was one of those stocks where it's like, oh, yeah, I'm making so much money. This is awesome. And then one of these big red ugly down days happened. And, because I contained my risk, I took it off and I didn't get as much winners as I'd like to. So I don't have anything wrong with or anything bad to say about Timus. But I know this guy. And I also know that lately it has been underperforming significantly. Probably what you saw too, Philip. Now, with this strategy, it still would yield a 50% return cumulatively over the last 1,000 candles. But there are times, like right now, when the time is just not to be in it. So, Philip, that was a great one. LTRY. LTRY. Lottery. Oh, daggum. I could win the lottery. That sounds good. Oh, okay. Another new issue. So be careful on these. Yikes. These are some hard numbers here. So the stock since issue is down 60.82%. So 61% decline from issue. Following this strategy, it would have helped, but not a lot. A negative 14%. Remember earlier how I said I like to stay off of a new issue for at least 6 months? This is the reason why. It will tell you which way it's going to go. You just got to give it time. Tim, I appreciate you so much putting that one in the chat. Mr. Money Mitch coming through. STLD. So this is Steel Dynamics. 59% cumulative return, which is nothing to be upset about. But also what's cool about that is it's nearly double the performance of the stock on its own. So following this strategy, because you have no control over the stock, remember this, you only have control of entry and exits. Following a strategy like this, a simple strategy, would have yielded you almost double what the stock has done. Now, right now, this is a valid signal, Mr. Mitch. Unfortunately, it needs another day to process here. Otherwise, it would show out in the future. But what I like to do is I like to go to 10 candles out on this little chart here. And we say 10 candles is a positive 8.36%. So you could, in theory, say that today's price, 63.6 times 1.083, would give you the expected value for the next 10 days at 68.87, which I'll draw you a circle for that up here, 68.87. Oh, man, almost off the chart. That's a good one. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but I am saying that the data shows a backtest result that looks somewhat like this. Now, Mitch knows I don't blow smoke up his backside. I will call him out when I see a bad trade. This is a pretty good setup here, Mitch. Good work. Kavan, my dude. Kavan is one of my 10-minute stock traders. He always comes with the fist bump every day, and I always have to Chuck Norris back at him. Dude, I'm so glad you're here. You rock, man. Tiny Pie Media says, let's get those likes into the double digits. This is free info. And Chris is, thank you. I did not pay Tiny Pie Media to say that. Chris is awesome. Also, shout out to Trend Spider Charts. I know. Mitch says, drop your stocks in the chat, guys. Come on. Hey, Elon. All right, let's take 2 seconds here and talk about what just happened. I don't know if this is the Elon. Probably not. But if this is the Elon and he wants to know what's going on with F, which is Ford, guys, I got to tell you, this is quite thumbs up worthy. All right, Elon. Ford is on a runner right now, isn't it? So here's what's really cool, right? The last 1,000 candles, the stock for Ford, the last 4 years of data, Ford has gone up 106%. The stock has. This strategy has gone up 123%. Very, very good, Elon. That's why you're the smartest and richest man in the world. And here's the best part. Here's the best part. Are you ready for the best part about trend trading? Okay. This has a 34% win rate. 34. I'm not exaggerating. 34% win rate. yet a 123% cumulative return. Think about that for a second here. Wouldn't that make your life so much easier if you allowed the trend to tell you which way it's going to go, and then you traded with it, and you lose 2 out of 3 times, but on that third time, it not only makes up for the other 2, but that and some. 34% win rate and a 123% cumulative return. Elon, of course you're the man. Hey, I'm putting in my order for a Model Y as soon as you get those 4680 batteries ready. If any of you are Tesla fanboys, you know exactly what I'm talking about. SQM. Yeah, actually, I was just having a conversation with my wife the other day. We are 100% on board with getting the Model Y. We just need to see those new batteries, right? It's like buying an iPhone 13 a month before the iPhone 14 comes out, right? You just got to sit and wait and be patient. Woo! Hertz Scrambler. SQM. Okay, so this looks like a Spanish stock. I will do my best for some Espanol. Sociedad Comercia y Minera. I don't know. I actually did study abroad in Mexico City. Fun fact. 2006. George Bush shut down the borders while I was there, which was fun. But if you fly over, you can still get there. Who would have thought? Yeah, studied abroad in Mexico City in 2006, which was amazing. And when people talk about going to Mexico, they're talking about going to the beach. You're going to Cancun. They're going to, Playa del Mar, things like that. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You're not going to Mexico. You're going to the beach. I know real Mexico, but I don't remember my Spanish. Unfortunately, negative 26% following the strategy. But I will say one thing. This is a current open result. Now, you're probably wondering, how is it a negative 26%? And then it still projects this out into the future. Somewhere, some way, the data proves that this is a losing strategy, negative 26%. But it also shows that this is the expected move over the next few days. I don't know how that data translates here, but that's what it says. So Hertz Scrambler, I would be anxiously watching this one. But thank you for that. David Wilson, he says KD. And guys, I really appreciate you doing this. If I've covered your stock or one of your favorite stocks, smash the like button for me. Is this a new issue? Yeah, another new issue, unfortunately. Okay, remember, guys, not just you, David, but everybody. If you're trading a new issue, give it 6 months. Oh, geez, that was not the button I wanted to click. I wanted to zoom in, but not the whole page here. All right. If you give it 6 months and then you see all this happening over the first few days, and then more of this happening, there are no buyers. Everybody's a seller until I've reached the floor of around 1750. I'm not saying it won't work in the future, but right now, this stock does not have buyers, unfortunately. And that proves out in the back test. So, David, all good, man. I appreciate your feedback here. CHPT. You guys, by the way, have been rocking the chat today. There are occasionally days where I don't get to have much participation, but that is not today. You Benzingers are coming to town, bringing all of that. And thank you for smashing like. Ooh, look at this one. 92. Oh, hang on. You need bigger. Yeah. My big old face was in the way. 92% return, Miss Whitehorse, versus a 68% return for the stock. So that means following this simple strategy over and under the 10-day, you have nearly doubled your money in the last 1,000 candles. While the stock was the stock was only up 68%. Amazing. Epic. Very good choice here. All right. Yeah, David nailed it, dude. Not enough data for KD. Yeah. I mean, it could be fantastic. Give it a year or two, unfortunately. I'm going to take 10 seconds here and take a sip of my green tea out of my 10-minute stock trader mug. Give me a second here. There's still plenty of data for CPHT. I mean, it's been around since September 2020. there's been wow. Is this yeah. If you followed this strategy, you actually would have had 47 different positions in the last year. That's crazy. So this must be pretty volatile. With a 43% win rate. So yeah, it actually had enough data. Oh, you guys are like smashing this chat box real hard. I'm doing it my best here. Let's go to Dario. AMD. AMD. Advanced Micro Devices. AMD was actually my hugest winner last year. I traded it from it was this move, I think. No, it was this move. It went from 95 to 115. I caught that whole move and I was like, yeah, what's up? And then you look at it right now, right? 106 to 161. And it's like, meh. Or 105, 10, what was it? 95 to 115 just doesn't matter when it's that. All right. So this one, really interesting here. All right, check this out, Dario. The stock has a 984% return. The strategy has 162%. I always like to show those apples and oranges together. We have no control over what the stock does. We do have control about when we enter. This stock was on a runner last year or last few years. And even if you followed this strategy, you still would have got 162% on your money. Yeah, fantastic. Philip says, yeah, they're both recovering. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. It needs to come back to town. But you're looking long term. I get it. AMD, yes. Well, there you go, Miss Whitehorse. I gotcha. Let's keep going down the list here. What about things on the TSE exchange? I have no idea at all. Hugo, we covered F. If you get a chance to watch the replay of this, it's there for you. Elon, need to know if they're coming after me. Dude, I tell you, watch your back, Elon. But you can always hang out here with me. We're both in Texas. Gary, I appreciate you, man. MRIN. This is Marin Software Incorporated. Had a giant volume day a couple days ago. Let's take a look at this. So first off, it has been falling, I should say, pretty hard over the last few weeks. Even with this giant day. I don't know what's going on. Let's look at the news. There's a few things popping up, but nothing, no sort of headline. But that's good. When you see a giant volume like this, that could be the catalyst for a reversal. So that's a good start. But what's not good is a negative 33% return. Ouch. But yeah. There might be something coming up here soon, but Gary, MRNN, this one's this is one I would avoid personally. I appreciate you though. Smash like. Philip, I dig your energy. I dig your energy, man. Philip. I tell you what, guys. I am right at time, but I do have a couple tiny itsy bitsy things I wanted to cover here. Rob, you sir won the jackpot. You are the last one of the day. And then I have something special I want to talk to you guys about. So Apple, of course, Apple, right? Apple's one of those stocks where it's like, buy Apple, it always goes up, just like Facebook. You think Facebook always goes up, but not the case, as we backtested. Now, Apple here, using the 10-day strategy, does show a positive return, 134% versus 300 for the stock. I will say, if you look at the weighting of the SPY, of the S&P 500, a lot of it is Apple. Being the biggest company out there and the S&P 500 being a market cap weighted index, what happens in Apple drives the SPY. So this is a currently open backtest here. So Rob, if you're not already in Apple, this would be a valid signal as of today. I'm not saying that this will happen, but I am saying a couple things. Are you ready? Rob, you're getting extra special analysis here. Earnings are coming up in 11 trading days. If you have ever been around the market for a while, you'll understand that earnings can drive moves. And investors get really excited going into earnings. And they may even buy up that stock in anticipation for what will happen after earnings. So this actually may be a fantastic opportunity inside of Apple, running into earnings and still having this open backtest here. So Rob, nice shot, dude. I hope that works out for you. But I have one last segment that I want to do. And I love doing this because there's not just, trading really has three core components here. One is offense. That's your strategy. That's what we just covered here. Two, the second part of a trading strategy is your defense. And that's your exits. That's your position size. That's how you make sure that when it doesn't work, you don't get blown out. And the third part is trading psychology. And I want to cover that in our final thoughts. So this is my friend Mark. You may know him. He is the 1997 U.S. investing champion and soon to be 2021 U.S. investing champion. And Mark and I were just texting the other day, and he is waiting. Right now, his results are being audited, and he should have them back in the next couple weeks or so. I am already planning to have him on the show to talk about how it went over the last couple weeks. I should say over the last year. Mark is amazing. If you haven't learned from anybody out there, I would start with Mark. His number one rule is wait in cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes. I was just today having a conversation with one of my friends inside the 10-minute trading room. And I was like, listen, we're holding cash on purpose. We're waiting in cash because we need to see the market do a few things. As we talked about at the beginning of today's show, if you want to go back and watch the replay of that, I outline it step by step by step. Wait in cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes. Trading is a waiting game, waiting for the right setups. But one thing I don't want you to wait for is I want you to wait no longer. I want you to go into your web browser right now and type in webinar.10minutestocktrader.com. That's my website, 10minutestocktrader.com. And this Friday, we are having a live webinar with me, kind of like what we're doing right now. And I am actually going to go through step by step our entire trading plan. Every single thing that falls into our trading plan, I'm going to go through all of it step by step so you can see exactly how we trade in 10 minutes a day. And I'm going to give you 3 secrets to finding amazing trades in only 10 minutes a day. Now, the Benzingers know about this, but this is what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. So I'd love to see you there. The link to that is webinar.10minutestocktrader.com. And I hope to see you Friday. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Benzinga, for allowing me to come on today's episode. Let Benzinga know that you enjoyed this by smashing like. And I would love to see you Friday morning live, just like this, to show you exactly how we trade every day and only 10 minutes a day. Have a fantastic afternoon. I apologize for my little under the weatherness, but I look forward to seeing you on Friday at that webinar.
This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10minutestocktrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money.